Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a while. Welcome to Awful Goodness. I am your host, Midnight in Exile. And with me tonight are my co hosts, iMega Arts,
Hello there.
Condor Yes,
Hola.
and by Canalis.
Still muted.
Still mute.
Hang on. I'll unmute. I did unmute you. Wait, now you can't unmute. Oh, his mic isn't connected.
How about now?
Now you're connected.
Okay, yeah, I unmuted myself. I don't know why you muted me, and I was waiting for you to unmute me, so I had to do it myself. Because,
I
man's
did
gotta do what a man's gonna do.
I did unmute you.
No. Well, how do I sound now? Because I was trying this new microphone, but apparently, I don't know. It wasn't a good idea.
So far, so good.
Okay, well, let's keep it that way. Just talking like really, really, really close to the computer.
How long has it been since we've done a show?
Too long.
Very long. Like
It's been
almost a year.
Has it been almost a year?
No, I think it was in March.
Yeah, I think we did something at the beginning
Oh,
of
yeah.
this year.
It was in March. It would have been in March.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just don't have long-term memory. I can barely remember my childhood.
It's been a crazy summer, man. No sign of the crazy ending anytime soon. And I'm just kind of keeping on. What have you guys been up to?
Been working and taking care of the mule.
Me too, I
And
think.
then
No, go ahead.
and also I guess something must have changed with Peru's transfer policy because I'm still waiting to get money. Because I transferred over on Friday.
I just hope it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that you have a communist in power there, because they like to do that shit, like change terms and services, in banks so people can't withdraw money.
One of
Who
the last
knows?
things that I ever really want to deal with is South American banking policy.
They are really fun in a tragicomic way. I'm just saying.
Yeah. How about you, Canales? What have you been up to?
Well, I've been traveling for all time's sake. Not that the bullshit mandates have been lifted in most of Europe. I've been finally able to visit Brussels after over 2 years, and well, it's been cool. I finished Ironsides 3, so I took a short vacation, went to Brussels, bought a bunch of European comic books, which are the only type of comic books you can read these days. Stuffed my fucking face with French fries and beer. I was pretty happy for like 6 days.
I haven't been to Brussels since like 2000, maybe 99, 2000, somewhere around there. When I was there, I ate at a restaurant that Jean-Claude Van Damme was an owner in called The Fifth Element.
Cool. Never heard about it.
Nice.
I thought you were gonna say like the typical tourist trap restaurant like Chez Leon or something like that near the Grand Place.
I don't care about that shit.
I can tell.
You know what's funny
is
is
restaurant now.
I stumbled in. I didn't know the restaurant was there. Like me and my friend, this was before, like not before internet, but before the internet is the way it is now. Me and there were no smartphones. We had no idea where the fuck we were going. We were just in Brussels, we actually went to the wrong place. That's a different story. But we're hungry. Look at this place. Let's go in here and see if there's, some dinner to be had. And it just turned out to be a restaurant that Jean-Claude Van Damme had. We were supposed to go to Bruges, but the idiot that told us to go to Brussels meant Bruges and didn't say Bruges. She said Brussels.
Oh, fucking Bruges, man.
Yeah. Which I had my time in Brussels was adventurous. That's a story for another time. but I definitely enjoyed eating at the Fifth Element. I doubt it's still there. I doubt it. Jean-Claude Van Damme still has it. He's lost all his money and gained it back since then.
Yeah, he's doing like auto-parodic stuff these days because that's the only thing that gives him money. It's kind of, well, I'm not gonna say it's sad because he is making money, but I don't know. It's basically a self-deprecating comedian now.
And have you ever seen Canales? You seen Jean-Claude Van Johnson?
Yeah, that's the type of stuff I was referring to. I actually watched JCVD. It was a great movie, and Jean-Claude Van
JC.
Johnson is pretty funny. Pretty funny. Sorry.
Oh, I just dried my throat out hitting a vape. I thought JCVD was really good. Speaking of movies, have you guys seen The Quantum Terror?
No.
No.
Quantum Terror is an independent Lovecraftian style horror movie. And
Yeah, I
if you're
remember you told me about it.
you'll see Christopher Moonlight Productions. It is his movie. We'll be talking about that a little bit later. I have watched it. I see Justin Ferreira saying JCVD was favorite action star. Sad to see him like this. Yeah, Christopher Moonlight. There we
Well,
go. Listening while
hello.
working.
Hello.
Hey,
welcome
what's
to the show.
You never stop working once you start creative stuff. It's just interruptions from working.
True.
Yeah.
And also Jean-Claude Van Damme loved the cocoa.
Oh boy,
yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme loved the nose candy.
Oh yeah.
There are stories, man. There are stories involving Jean-Claude Van Damme and disgruntled bodyguards, like dating back from the 1990s. Pretty fucking funny.
I know
It's like-
for certain that he did the Street Fighter movie ripped on cocaine.
Yeah. And fucking Kylie Minogue.
Well, that explains things, doesn't it?
Like the
Kylie
biggest
Minogue, please. Ming-Na Wen is Chun-Li. Hello.
the biggest advice that anyone can possibly give, like anyone in entertainment, if they start making money, is stay the fuck away from cocaine. That's like half the battle. Just stay away from cocaine.
The only thing you gotta watch out for when you're making art is success. Never succeed too much. You know what I mean. You're gonna get too rich. You're gonna get too coked up, too drunk. You gotta stop being yourself, and you're gonna basically become Rage Against the Machine. Current year, Rage Against the Machine.
God, Tom Morello is such an insufferable prick.
I know.
I see Zach Londy in chat. Hey, I
What
haven't
up,
seen these beers
dude?
in a while. What's
Hola.
That's it.
Hail Zach.
They did so much coke on the set of Street Fighter that they made a G.I. Joe movie instead.
That's actually how I envisioned the movie Caligula being made. You know, they just woke
my
up one morning covered in like all kinds of bodily fluids and drugs and like having no memory of the previous night. We're like, what the fuck happened? Holy shit, we made a movie.
Malcolm.
Caligula is like basically borderline porn.
And everybody was like up to their eyeballs in every substance
Isn't it-
known to man.
It's distributed by Hustler, isn't it? Or Penthouse?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's made.
Yeah.
It's directed by the softcore Italian director Tinto Brass. So it's essentially a softcore porn movie.
And you get to see Dame Helen Mirren's titties, but she's young, so
So I'm pushing us into a format tonight, and one of the things that we're doing with the format that I'm pushing us into is we're talking about projects, other people's projects, seeing how that goes. And here we go. Wait, how do I? There we go. Have you guys heard of Shadowpunk?
No, I haven't heard about anything since I don't have social media.
no.
Shadowpunk. So you guys know I'm deep into this Midnight Chrome episode, which is like audio creepypasta style audio fiction that I've been working on. And the one that I'm working on is based on a still from Shadowpunk's art. I'm not going to get too deep into the topic, but it's an episode that is entirely in cyberspace. If you haven't checked out Midnight Chrome, cyberpunk, Lovecraftian cyberpunk, what is just about here.
If you haven't checked, what is wrong with you?
Heavy sound design stuff. But anyway, Shadowpunk has a comic coming out called Shadowpunk, and he does really amazing 3D printing figures. Like he did a cyber frog. What else did he did a juggernaut? Of course, he did his own stuff. He just did one for Rippa. Young Rippa making $3.3 million in what, a week and a half, 2 weeks? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Man, right. Rippa's the new EVS.
Yeah.
He made three times what EBS did, so he's basically 3BS.
He's crushing it. Shadowpunk. Young Rip is crushing it. It's amazing to see. Like I was certain that he'd move units and he'd make money off of this, but 3.3 million? Oh my God.
I know he was a pretty big YouTuber, but that's insane.
Yeah.
And of course, we have the coping and seething and dilating.
Yeah, let him.
You guys heard that coping and seething song?
I don't, because I don't even listen to the cope or the seethe anymore.
Well, you gotta listen to it. I'm just saying.
Shadowpunk's comic is about it's like, you know, cyberpunk, steampunk, shadowpunk. Get it? Like it's a medium. It looks very steampunk to me. The comic looks interesting, and here, let's see what it says. Enter the world of Shadowpunk, a 52-page adventure. Detroit, or what's left of it. Detroit, always a good setting. Out of an age of chaos, a new evil rises to dominate the city and all those inside. Against all odds, one girl survives. Lost and alone, she's on a mission to find her family. Can she do it? Will she be strong enough to uncover the lies and break through the barriers in her way? Is she brave enough to bear the dark truths that await her? That story begins the adventure that will take young Mara from the very top of the city down into its dark underbelly. But she's not alone. A small resistance has gone into hiding, waiting for the day when they will emerge and fight back. Today is the day. The thing that I like about Shadowpunk is, look at this art. It's very iconic. It's really, really good. Like, he's got a great property established here, you know? Like, he can do a lot with this. Look at this.
And actually, the storyline actually drew me in. I wanna read it.
Yeah. There are 4 days left to back.
It looks cool.
Yeah, it does look cool.
I guess I'm backing.
So I recommend backing Shadowpunk on Indiegogo. I'm really looking forward to releasing this episode. It's taking me forever because it's enormous. I meant for it to be like a minute to 5 minutes. It's probably going to be about a half hour.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not intentional, but it just happened. I saw the let's see if it's in here. Let's see if the still that he shared is in here. I saw the still. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's going to be down here. Where is it? Oh, it's not. Fuck. I saw the still, and this story immediately came to my mind. Oh, there it is. This is the still, right? Immediately came to my mind about someone hacking a node. So I just came up with this idea for a story that is entirely set in cyberspace, which is.
Don't you love that when you see a picture and it immediately inspires a story inside your mind?
Yeah. Yeah. It just happened too. It's just like the story was there, and I just okay. Now, how long is it going to take me to tell that story?
Incidentally, I think that happens to Clay Barker as well. Like he sees a painting and he like creates a story out of it.
Yeah.
I guess I blew some minds with that.
Well, didn't I show you the link that Nightbreed is on YouTube?
I don't think so.
I thought I sent you the link from Reddit that Nightbreed is the entire Nightbreed movie is on. Yep.
So I guess we gotta do a watch party. because that's the first in-universe appearance of Dr. Fauci. That was a joke. Oh, okay. Maybe next time.
I got it, but I didn't think it was funny enough for a laugh. Also, hello.
Come on now. Huh. No, I haven't watched that.
Oh,
I
they
actually
should make more cyberpunk horror.
yes.
Have you guys seen Possessor 2019? It was made by Cronenberg's son. It's a pretty cool body horror film with cyberpunk elements.
I have never actually watched anything by Brandon Cronenberg, but I kind of want to.
Sorry, my microphone shit the bed. I'm back though.
Okay.
Hola.
Yeah. So
Canality. You didn't hear me.
thank you. So thank you, Justin. Maybe we can put another
Yep.
list in a watch party.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Matt, you were saying that.
Oh, I was just saying my microphone shit the bed. So
Huh?
you did not hear me laughing at your joke, Canalis.
Oh,
I didn't know
someone
that
laughed.
Cronenberg's
I
son
feel
was
better
making-
for myself.
All right. So there's some news going on.
Oh yeah.
So
Former
many-
President Donald Trump was raided by the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Salman Rushdie got stabbed in the face.
Was it the face? I thought it was the neck.
Got stabbed in the
Was it-
neck.
Yeah, it was the neck.
Okay.
What else? What else is going on? Oh wait, I have.
The Batman news.
Say it again.
The news about Batman.
Batman is.
Oh yeah, Batman is apparently going to be decloseted now as a
Batman
bisexual.
is a queer now.
Everyone is gay. It's like the beginning of Team America.
Everybody's got
Everyone's
AIDS.
gay.
Team
Everyone has
America.
Jesus.
Everyone has AIDS. 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 AIDS.
It's hard for people like us to like grasp this, but there are people who expect to see themselves in every reflective surface they look at.
And those people usually collect human heads and dress with human skin.
They usually work in
And they're
HR.
called narcissists.
That too.
They call themselves Buffalo Bill.
All right. Why don't we talk about? So, what do you guys know about the FBI raid on Trump?
Well, I heard that it was
Uh.
authorized by the same judge who was basically friends with Epstein.
I
Did I
heard
get that
that.
right?
I heard that the judge was the lawyer that got him a sweetheart deal.
Something like that, yeah. So, nothing
And
to
they
see.
were also claiming that he had like nuclear launch codes or something.
So fucking what? Does he have access to the launch, like the red button? He doesn't have any authority. So fucking what?
I mean, like, you probably shouldn't have classified documents of the nuclear codes on your property as a former employee. Did he? My question is, did he? I don't know that he did or didn't. And B,
Well, according to himself, everything that he had was publicly available, and the court had only needed to ask.
So it was
yeah.
declassified.
I'm trying to set up a screen share for the New York Post, but the site is pissing me off.
And also,
Well,
something that I wonder, I guess that every time a president changes, they also change the codes.
I mean, they probably change not only that, but they probably change those codes like pretty often, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm pretty sure they
Yeah.
like randomly they have like a random code generator and they update it like regularly.
yeah. Let's see. Justin Ferris says, don't they change new codes every hour or something? Any amount of time you told me, I'd believe. Like that's a.
This is nothing to do with the fact that he's apparently planning on running on 2024 again. Like, it's just a coincidence, guys.
Yeah. Well, the primaries are also next.
And of course, Hillary, that that fucking witch, she's milking this for all she can. Cause she's definitely gonna be in the running.
I mean, if Biden can become president and the guy can barely hold in his own shit, why not her?
The thing about okay, so it seems like what people who hate Donald Trump want is to find out that he had classified documents on his property that he wasn't supposed to have and that he was selling them to foreign powers. That seems to be what they want to hear, right? Like that seems to be what everything they're saying is leaning towards. Am I missing something?
I guess in exchange for
And-
money, because
Yeah,
even
and
though
when
he's
they
a
made
billionaire, he wants like Xi Jinping's meager pittance or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and by foreign powers they mean Russia, because this is what it's been since the beginning. Russia, 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 Russia.
Sure, right.
I can't get over how stupid the Russia thing is and how stupid the people that are buying the Russia bad narrative are.
And they even believe wasn't it proven that the Steele dossier was fake?
Oh yeah. It came from 4chan. Everyone knew that from the beginning. Everyone that's savvy knew that from the beginning. And everyone else is an idiot or nefarious.
Yeah, never a day goes by when I see a post about Trump, some brain dead pencil neck geek brings up, he got pissed on by Russian prostitute.
So let's see what the New York Post has to say about this. The FBI raided Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida and broke into a safe on his palatial home, the former president said Monday. Trump said, I saw a funny meme that said that's of Trump saying to Tucker Carlson, and when they opened the safe, all they found were pictures of Hunter smoking crack. Trump said in a message on his social media forum, Truth Social, that his home had been raided and occupied and was currently under siege. FBI agents were reportedly searching for classified documents that Trump allegedly brought with him from the White House to Mar-a-Lago after his presidency ended, which, if true, would be a violation of federal law. Not necessarily. There are people saying that see, I don't know if any of this is true, but there are people saying that the documents that they're alleging he had were declassified. So that means they are not classified anymore. So it is not illegal for him to. And did he even have any documents? I don't even know.
He did post the warrant, and it listed like everything they found. Well, not exactly just what they found in one of them was like top secret.
Well, he says that he was holding on to the documents that they told him to hold on to, and that he had them like secured in the safe because they told him to secure them down. So he apparently did everything they told him.
Who would they be?
FBI, Secret Service. I don't know. I guess the Secret Service.
So it would stand to reason that if that's the case, he'd have that in writing, right? Like some sort of written communication, email, something.
But you're dealing with the government here. Like, papers disappear, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. I mean, I live in a highly bureaucratized, if that's a word, country, and I've seen that shit happen time and time again. Oh, you send us whatever paper. Oh, we must have lost it. You should probably do it again, and come over the next fucking year and do the whole process all over again.
It's no coincidence that November is right around the corner.
Of course not.
Yep.
Right? Like, there's no coincidence that that's what that's about.
And like a lot of Trump endorsed people have won the primary, whatever elections happened just recently. So they're getting nervous.
Jokes on them, because apparently Donald Trump's poll numbers are higher than ever after the raid.
So here's my question. What? How is all of this playing out with Ron DeSantis? Isn't Ron DeSantis going to run,
He
or
probably
isn't it
should.
sounding like Ron DeSantis might run?
I think it depends on what happens with Trump after this.
Yeah, cause well, I can totally see the Republican going between Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump, but I don't know if Ron DeSantis would be the type to ally.
One of the dumbest things either of those guys could do would be to go against the other aggressively.
Yeah.
Right.
The smartest thing they can do is figure out how to work together in the best interest of the country. Are they going to do that? I don't know. Have they done that already? I don't know. But that's what they should do.
I mean, nothing short. I mean, a possible outcome would be like DeSantis becomes the Trump's new vice president.
That sounds good.
And then runs
'Cause-
after him, and he gets 12 years in the White House.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's not a terrible plan. How old is DeSantis?
I think it's like
It's-
mid-40s.
Yeah, Trump
It's
is
like-
the one who's old.
Yeah, he's like early to mid 40s.
Really?
43 years old.
There you go.
He's 43 years old?
I think he's
Yeah.
like your age, slightly older than me.
That's young. That's young, but it's a good age for him to make that play.
I mean, he's been a successful governor for like, I don't know, quite a long time. I think that's the next step.
Yeah.
Maybe not the next step, but it couldn't hurt.
And he also has sympathy points because I think his wife just beat cancer too.
Mhm.
And he has young children, so he's cornering the family market.
The smartest, I know a lot of people are really standing DeSantis hard, and I understand why. But the smartest move that the two of them could make together, if Trump is thinking of running, is for DeSantis to run with Trump as vice president and then follow him with a presidential run. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
That puts DeSantis in the White House for 12 years.
It's not bad.
Yeah. Christopher Moonlight says Trump posted that they took boxes of materials that are attorney-client privileged information. Now, does this type of warrant, is there anything that supersedes attorney-client privilege?
I guess national security, you could argue. I'm
Yeah.
not familiar with American law, but that stands to reason.
Actually, that's
Yeah.
the reason why I'm waiting for Nick Riqueta to talk about this, because
Mm.
he obviously knows more.
Yeah. All right. Let's why don't we move on from Trump and talk about, so what do you guys know about Salman Rushdie?
Well, he's a pretty
Iranians hate him.
Say that again?
The Iranians hate him because he wrote that Satanic Verses book.
mhm. Well, he's an Iranian, and he's been in a fight against like radical Muslims for like what, 40 years now.
Something a long time, since the 80s, I think.
Yeah, because it was the first guy, Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini.
Khomeini.
Yeah, who was like, yeah, this fucker gotta go.
Can we
Khomeini was-
pronounce Arab names like EBS does? Khalid al-Harbi.
Khomeini was the terrorist boogeyman to beat all terrorist boogeymen.
Yeah, him and Muammar Gaddafi.
Gaddafi, yeah. Those two defined what the West thought of Muslim terrorism back then. Christopher Moonlight says, nothing supersedes the Constitution.
Right.
I wish that were true in practice.
Oh, yeah.
Shall
Oh.
not be infringed.
Also, before we get into the article, let's look at the trending now about Madonna says her 16-year-old son wears her clothes better than she does.
Well, her son wears the clothes, or he gets the hose again.
Your son is 90 years younger than you, Madonna. He does everything better than you. Of course he does. So, any of you guys read the Satanic Verses? Have you ever read anything by Salman Rushdie?
I think
Nope.
I've read Midnight's Children.
I read like a short story a long time ago, and I've read a couple of like journalism things a long time ago, but I don't remember any of it. How would you describe his writing, Jez?
It's been a long time since I read Midnight's Children, but I think it like kind of has a certain flow to it. Like it's a little wordy on the wordy end.
I remember liking what I read. I just don't remember anything about what I read.
So
Like, I
what
remember
does he
seeing,
write?
Yeah,
Like, are they
like
essays?
like if I can put Salman from what I read of Midnight's Children, it's like Salman Rushdie, he has good idea, but he's like he gets a little overly descriptive, I guess.
But so what does he write? Does he write essays or like fiction or what is it?
Satanic Verses was fiction.
As
So he
was
does
Midnight's Children.
Yeah, he does both. He's like an academic type guy, right? So he does like fiction and like op-ed type stuff. I think he does cultural writing, or did cultural writing back then anyway. But I remember like Satanic Verses is like a almost Umberto Eco type thing. Isn't he somewhat like Umberto Eco?
Maybe I'm not quite familiar with Umberto Eco outside of the film version of The Name of the Rose.
I was obsessed with Foucault's Pendulum for like a year. So
Well, I've been told that Umberto Eco is actually a pretty good satirical writer, and he's kind of like, I think he's a commie, nobody's perfect, but apparently the entirety of The Name of the Rose is like a satire on. It's supposed to be like darkly comical, which is what the film didn't really grasp, and it's supposed to be like a satire of medieval religion.
He's an Italian academic, right? So the big thing with Rushdie is he wrote the Satanic Verses, and it is critical and I believe farcical of Islam. And Khomeini put a fatwa on his head, and those don't go away. They stay forever, especially if the guy who put it out dies. There's no taking it back. So every Muslim, in theory, is expected to hunt down Salman Rushdie and end him. So he's been in hiding mostly for like 40 years, for a really long time. But he comes out, and well, he came out. Author Salman Rushdie, who spent years in hiding with an Iranian bounty on his head, was stabbed in the neck at a literary event in upstate New York Friday when an assailant stormed the stage after his introduction. Rushdie, who was scheduled to talk at the Chautauqua Institution in Chautauqua, New York, some 75 miles south of Buffalo, was rushed to a nearby hospital by helicopter, the New York police said in a statement. So he got all fucked up. He's like losing an eye. He was on a ventilator.
Yeah. They just took him off, but he's surviving. Hey, Coca.
What's up, Coca?
Fantastic realism, maybe. That might be a really good way to explain Salman Rushdie's writing. I think of it a lot like Umberto Eco.
Yeah. All I know is that the main issue was Salman wrote about, like, I guess Muhammad had a vision of, like, it should be like Allah and like 3 goddesses, but then he recanted and he was like, oh, that bit about the 3 goddesses, that was totally like a suggestion from Satan. And so I guess Rushdie jumped off on that point.
It's funny because I became aware. I was really young when I became aware of the whole Rushdie story, and I was, of course, writing, and I was like, "Wow, man, people will want to kill you for what you write."
What a crazy idea, huh?
And
look at us now.
Well, that's what I'm tying it into. It's funny how there are people who don't have that as part of their sort of like learning about the world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So they agree with that. I don't know. It's one of those things like the whole anti-censorship thing against the what is it called? The PMRC happened around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I always thought censoring music is a bad idea. Censoring writing is a bad idea. No matter who did the writing or what they're writing about.
Well, I know a bunch of progressives here in Spain who are talking about like censoring every religion ever, because what Muslims do. It's an effect of like what Buddhists do in fucking Tibet, I guess.
Canales, you just reminded me. I saw a picture on the Spain subreddit of someone literally put a billboard on a church in Barcelona. So I don't know if you saw it.
No, and I've been to Barcelona not long ago, but what shittery transpired there this time? Because holy shit, what a town!
All I remember is it was just a picture of like one of those pretty medieval churches, and then someone just slapped a fucking billboard on the steeple for like an iPhone.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, they were remodeling the cathedral. Yeah, it was actually pretty near from where we were all staying. Yeah, no, that was the cathedral. They were like reforming it or renovating it. And actually, it's funny because they were doing the same thing in Brussels, except in Brussels, I think it was in Bruges. In Bruges, they covered it with like a tarp that had like a print of the original church over it. So, if you didn't look closely enough, you wouldn't notice that it was actually a tarp. Like, it was just the church. I don't know if I'm making any sense because I'm Spanish and it's late. But in Barcelona, instead of doing that, they covered the fucking church with a cell phone ad, with a giant cell phone ad, because that's fucking Spain for you.
What was it? I mean, I'm assuming it was a Catholic church.
Of
Yeah.
course. Well, we're Roman Catholic. I think that's the dominant
The
religion.
only way that happens is if the church takes a payment for that, right? Is the church selling ad space?
How Spanish church has always been a massive turncoat.
Yeah.
When the leftists are in charge, they become insanely leftist. When the conservatives are in charge, they become insanely conservative. Like they're in for like just the money. Like organized religion in Spain is like everything else in Spain, a fucking joke.
Well, this is why I don't participate in organized religion, because it's that easily corrupted.
Yep, it's a smart idea.
So yeah, the first time I've heard anything about Salman Rushdie in years, and he's getting stabbed in the neck.
One would think that he would have like a stricter security detail, like like just the guy with a knife wouldn't be able to get close to him and just stab him.
Well, it costs money for a security detail, And
also, there's rumors that maybe someone was paid off to let the guy to like stand back and let the guy do his thing.
Maybe then again, this was in New York, and if you try to stab a Muslim, they could stop a Muslim from stabbing you. You would probably end up in jail for being racist.
It was in upstate New York, so it was outside the city. But like, dude, security at events is not as crazy as you'd expect it to be.
Yeah, look at what happened to Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, like if we're talking like politicians, like federal politicians, sure, there's security. If we're talking like someone like Salman Rushdie, there will be if he's willing to pay. Like, I don't know how much would security cost for that day. I bet you security would cost 30 to 50,000 for that one day. The security that he would need just for that one event would probably cost. I'm way off, but it's not cheap. It's very expensive because you're hiring either, like, you're essentially subcontracting federal agents or state police or even local police. And there are your tiers of competency. That's
even
not
former cops.
Yeah. Just getting security for like a construction detail, that's expensive.
This is why you should only trust in Trojan the Butcher and his boys. Yes.
Well, I remember when.
It's really cheap. It will keep you safe. Yes.
Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger is rich and he got kicked by a boy.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, he got kicked in the back, right?
Yeah. Wow, I got kicked.
Oh shit! I made fun
No.
of Eastern European accent, and he appears. This can't be a coincidence. What's up, Harv?
Hervoge.
I think it's Harvoya.
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 Call him Harv.
He's a Balkan. He's a Balkan.
What's up?
Hey.
Oh, I know.
Don't piss him off. He might like invade Kosovo or something.
He will watch you bleed out while he squats and smokes.
Yes.
Do you guys want to watch the trailer for Quantum Terror?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see if I have it. I think this movie has a lot of heart. That is what I'll say. And like, you're not seeing stuff like this in mainstream movie making. You're not seeing
art in mainstream movies is long dead.
So I just gotta test real quick and see if you guys are hearing the audio. I don't hear audio.
Yeah,
No.
I don't hear anything either.
That's interesting. All right. I know how to fix that. Maybe.
Well, I don't know if you watched Top Gun Maverick. It was cool.
The what?
If you watched Top Gun Maverick.
I haven't watched it. I heard it was really good though. I heard that it was like better than most of what you're gonna see right now.
Yeah, it was.
All right, let's see if this works. Oh no, I didn't. Nothing.
I can
Okay,
hear
I'm
it.
hearing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear the sound effects.
Okay.
She thought she'd found something in one of her books that lined up with her research. She
Audio.
put them together, and then she told me she talked to someone from another
I'm not
dimension.
hearing any audio.
I'm hearing.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
Yeah, me too.
Hashtag me too.
Weird. I'm not hearing it at all. Whatever. I'll keep it rolling.
Sylvia one of the brightest students I've ever known.
We talked to the professor. He said that all those weird books belong to Jacob.
I am not interested in anything you have to say unless you want to make a confession.
You can see Quantum Terror on Tubi now, which is where I watched it.
Okay,
Not
that looks like it has a lot of elements that I'm into, like Lovecraftian lore, goth chicks, and death metal.
It's got, let's see, it's got a cast of like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 7, like less than 10 people, I think. And like maybe 4 locations. It doesn't have a lot of locations. So with all that stuff, Chris put together a movie that is worth watching.
Okay. Well, most of my favorite movies are actually like, few characters, few locations. I can think of like Alien or Fargo or Reservoir Dogs, Hitcher. All those movies are like, I don't know.
The Clive Barker, what is it? Not Fear, not Terror. What's the
Yeah,
one?
Dread.
Dread. Thank you. It's got like Clive Barker's Dread had like a cast of 4 people in one location. I
Yeah,
think.
the original story is like just 4 people, something like that.
So this is a good example of what you can do with a smaller cast and limiting your locations, which is, if you're starting out, the best thing you can possibly do is limit the elements in your, like, your first movie should not have 50 cast members in 30 locations.
Yeah, I always say that when you're a beginner, that's I'm sure you guys know I'm kind of a writer myself, and I always advise the newcomers, the newbies, to like keep it small, keep it like manageable, because everybody, especially when you're making comics, everybody wants to create their own universe, like the whatever universe with a dozen characters and a trillion different. Don't do that. Like, keep it small and learn to.
Here's a question, Chris, and I'm curious if you want to go to chat. What was your budget for Quantum Terror, and how much did you end up making off of it? This isn't a movie that's going to have high box office, because we're past the point of box office for indie movies. I mean, unless you count streaming as box office.
Yeah, do indie movies ever get premiered anymore?
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet that this probably had like a art house movie premiere, probably somewhere near where Chris is. I don't know. I'm guessing.
And besides, if the movie needs to be popular, it has to have like a black trans lesbian character, and the monsters have to be like a allegory for like racism
or Trump. Don't you fucking hate it when small indie arty films and big studios think the same about the same things? Isn't that like worrisome?
Yes. Well, I mean, they all have to get their production funds from somewhere.
I mean, from what I've heard, from what I've heard, what is it? Sundance has become just like a presentation, like a calling card for the big studios to pick up your film, so they can commission you with the next Avengers film.
I haven't been interested in anything coming out of Sundance or Cannes in 20 years, man.
Yep, same here.
Just like you got to do everything on your own these days.
Chris Bootlight Production says there's no box office for this movie. It's all streaming. So there's your standard for indie films at this point.
Yeah.
There's no point in even thinking about box office. It's gonna go to streaming. And I can't disclose earnings, but we spent $15,000. That's like nothing. That's zero.
I remember a short film.
That was not bad.
No, I mean, you guys remember the guy who directed The Blacksmith and the Devil?
Elementary.
Yeah, Elementary. His first short film was actually just $7,000. So for twice that, with that budget, you can actually make a full feature length. That's pretty impressive.
I hope he makes like another, like a spiritual successor to Elementary, because it's such a damn good movie. I love it.
And for those who missed it, you can see Quantum Terror on Tubi, and if you're in the international audience, Filmzy.
I have 3 indie movies in my to-watch list right now. I have to watch Lion Killer by my friend and collaborator Derek Fury. I have to watch Crow, which is a fun film of the Crow, that actually looks like pretty impressive. And I have to watch this.
Like a remake of the original?
No, I don't think it's a remake. I think it's like another, like the sequel. It's another case of another guy getting resurrected.
I can live with like sequels. I'm sick of remakes. No, I don't want.
Yeah, no remakes. I can deal with a universe in which a crow occasionally brings somebody back from the dead.
Yeah. Would you say that Crow is like the Dredd to the Crow's Judge Dredd?
I guess, but I would argue that the Crow is already the Crow. Like, it's already the Dredd.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a perfect movie, and it's in some aspects it's even better than the original comics.
I think it's better. I like the original comics, but I like the movie better.
Yeah, but you can tell that James Sobar wasn't really a writer. Like he was pretty much improvising. It's like a collage, It was just experimenting. The movie has actually like a decent like narrative, like 3-act structure and all that.
Let's see. Also, everything was shot in and around my house. This is from Christopher Moonlight Productions. To Yez's comment, we actually do have lesbian characters. I wasn't going to spill those beans, but in a way that isn't. I'll be interested to see if people realize that when watching.
Yeah, because that's a good point. Because it's not the same thing to have like, I'm gonna say, diverse characters and have a woke narrative. It's not the same. So it's the woke narrative we have a problem with.
The first hero and villain I wrote into Tech Force were black. So none of us are against diversity.
Dude, we were talking about The Crow, and Brandon Lee's what? He's like half Chinese.
Yeah, he's half Chinese.
Nobody seemed to have a problem with that.
Zach Longby says, I got a little behind, but Trump DeSantis 2024. That does seem like a winning move. And it'll be funny if that's the move they pull, but you go in any other direction and you end up splitting the audience, and you never want to do that in this situation. Whoops. Justin Ferreira says, I've always seen Crow as an emo Punisher. I buy that.
It's
not exactly against crime. He's more against, Punisher's kind of this. Okay. Yeah. Maniac Man 2030 says,
Man.
I didn't realize this stream was going. What's up, motherfucker?
What's the
algorithm? We've been away for so long.
Vegano for Pope.
Vegano for Pope.
What am I doing next? You want to talk about Batman?
Let's talk about. I always want to talk about Batman, good or bad.
Well, Batman likes dick now.
And we're not talking about Dick Grayson either. Well, maybe.
Well, did you do that on purpose, Midnight? Holy shit, it was good.
I'm pretty clever sometimes.
Yeah, Batman likes dick now. Holy shit, I'm impressed.
New Batman comic may have just confirmed Bruce Wayne is bisexual. This is, what I was saying earlier. Like, narcissists need to see themselves in every reflective surface they encounter.
It puts the representation in the comic book, or it gets the house again.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Talia al Ghul.
Oh, well, Talia al Ghul will turn out to be a dude.
Well, in Batman Beyond, the racial Ghul takes possession of Talia's body.
Gross.
Yeah, that's what Batman's like.
Yamero.
With comic books focusing on increasing diversity and inclusivity, we've seen some rather interesting changes with a variety of iconic characters. Now it appears Bruce Wayne's Batman could be the next character to be given such a change. Specifically, Batman is now hinted to be bisexual by DC Comics.
Why would they care?
The latest issue of Batman, The Knight #5, the issue features a moment where young Bruce Wayne approaches a fellow trainee named Anton. The two look at
what's his race? What's his race? What's his race?
With a name like Anton, I'd be guessing like some sort of squatter.
I would fucking love if he's Afro Hispanic.
I could buy that.
Because there's a couple Antons running around down here.
You know these people are insanely racist. Like they believe in every stereotype. So if it was a black guy, they would have called him Tyrone or something like that.
You think so?
Tyrone Johnson.
Oh,
I mean, Superman's boyfriend is like a Asian dude with pink hair.
Midnight, have you seen the whole Asgardian Miles Morales thing?
I did see that.
Isn't that like stereotypically racist as fuck? Come on.
It's just so like predictable isn't the right word. It's like, dude, like give it a little something.
Damn, Ice Giant stole my Mjolnir. Can't have shit in Asgard.
You pulled this shit out of it's like they pulled the entire design theory out of BET in a single shoe commercial. Sneaker, you know what I mean? Like it looks like BET making sneaker commercials.
So what would be what would Asgard be like if Miles Morales was Thor? Where it would be like Fresh Prince of Bel Air, but with like flying horses. There you go.
Oh, I would think differently.
So Odin will be Uncle Phil.
Okay, that's not bad. I would take Uncle Phil Odin.
Which means, so here's your option for what Loki. You can make Carlton Loki, or hang on, you could make Carlton Balder, and you could make like spinoff, right? What's his name? Urkel show up as Loki.
I could
Urkel is
totally
Loki.
live with Carl Winslow as Odin.
I actually could live with Carl. Like, yeah, I can. Wait, Carl Winslow? No.
I know. I'm just.
I see what you're
talking
saying.
about
Got it.
Family
Yeah,
Matters.
Carl Winslow from Family Matters.
We're talking about crossovers now, so okay.
Good point. Justin Ferreira says, I hear the reason why they're making a lot of the legacy characters gay bi is because when these characters go public domain, they can still copyright the altered versions. I mean, maybe that's a thing, but that's not why they're doing it. They're doing it so that they can say, look, it's me. Look, that's me. Everyone is me. That's me. That's me. That's me. Everyone good is me, and I'm everyone good.
Well,
It's also-
ultimately the reason is because they want to left their mark on history. They say, "Oh, I'm the one who make this character bisexual."
It's not even that deep, man. It's just simple narcissists needing to see their own reflection everywhere they go. That's all it is.
And also, they want their
Yep.
name in history.
Here's something that we haven't talked about. In the next issue of Batman, Catwoman gets monkeypox. How about that monkeypox?
Well, I think given the current inclination of Batman is more likely to get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that means that this boy has monkeypox.
So did you hear that they're trying to change the name of monkeypox to avoid the racist connotations?
I haven't heard any suggested alternatives, though.
Wait. I need some explanation. So apparently, we can be racist against monkeys now,
No. I mean,
right?
think about it.
You know what I'm getting at, right? You know what I'm getting at.
Yeah, wait.
It's like when people say, "Hey, orcs are racist," and you're like, "Why?" Because they're black. They're like, "What?" Yeah, they're like primitive and violent, so they're black. I'm not saying that. You are saying that.
No one has even broached the topic of monkeypox coming from black people, so it has nothing to do with
But
argument.
monkeypox originated in Africa, and Africa is where all the black people are. So ergo, monkeypox is racist.
Imagine the World Health Organization being actually concerned with that. Imagine that being their priority.
They actually are.
What percentage of monkeypox is coming from gay bukkake piss orgies?
99% of it, from what I heard.
It's like a really high percentage, and they're like, "No, that's not what's causing it."
And there's actually a small percentage of little boys getting it. You know,
Ugh.
Maybe a couple household pets.
And everyone's like, and people are like, maybe we should do like condom usage, and everyone's like, no way, no way.
I mean, I grew up during the AIDS crisis, and at least the main line was everyone had the responsibility to safe sex. And that's just gone now. It's gone right out the window.
Because personal responsibility is the enemy of the nanny state. If you are responsible for yourself, you don't need a big daddy to look after you for like forever.
I have a friend from growing up who is gay, and he was also a physician's assistant. And I think it was like 2004, 2005, somewhere around there. I was talking to him, and he told me that he got ass herpes.
Ew.
Oh,
Yeah, and I asked him, like, dude, you're a medical professional, A, and B, you grew up in the same AIDS crisis I grew up in. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing, man? And he didn't really like. It was like, oh, I'm just being irresponsible. Is ultimately what it came down to. They didn't really follow the rules, you know, and they didn't really think they ought to. It turns out they never really thought they ought to, and they don't right now either. And this monkeypox problem would probably end if everyone just chilled on the gay bukkake piss orgies for a couple of months. And these are all the same
just
people.
2 weeks without engaging in gay orgies just to flatten the curve, you know?
I
Maybe
guarantee
lock down
that
the gay saunas for a couple of weeks.
100% of these people that won't stop having promiscuous anonymous sex, I guarantee you that 100% of those people are vicious pro-maskers, pro-vaxxers.
And probably bug chasers.
Which makes it even weirder.
Well, I've seen a curious constant with people who are also worried about their health now. That most of them are like middle-aged and obese.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of weird that you only began to worry about your physical well-being when COVID started, not before you reached 300 pounds.
Midnight again admits that he's 174 years old. I am pretty fucking old.
He's an ageless vampire.
Yeah. I just watched Near Dark again last week.
That's a great fucking movie.
Yeah.
Actually, take that back. Midnight, you're a dwarf that got bit by a vampire.
Cute. All right, so I'm gonna open up. We're moving into Jez's time. I don't know if this audio is gonna work for me because I didn't get audio off of the video that we played, but we'll check. So this is from CBS Mornings. Jez, you want to read it?
Today's children are 30% less aerobically fit than their parents were at their age, a new study found. The study points to climate change and rising temperatures adversely affecting childhood obesity as children spend less time exercising outdoors.
Bull fucking shit.
The new study showing how climate change, specifically higher temperatures, is making our children more inactive and more obese. The study published in journal Temperature found today's children are 30% less aerobically fit than their parents were at their age. Fewer children are reaching the World Health Organization's recommendation of 60 minutes of exercise a day. Now, listen, it has been a lot harder.
60 minutes? Bro, when I was a kid, I would get up for school and go to the bus stop and play with my friends until the bus showed up. At school, we had 2 recesses. And then after school, we'd be out playing until our parents made us come home. Is everybody there? Did I lose anybody?
Yeah, no, I just muted myself because my neighbors are working really close by to my window and speaking loudly because they're Spanish.
All this climate change is to blame for everything. Stuff is nonsense. Like the planet Earth as is the entire universe. It is dynamic. Its climate is going to change over time.
What are you saying, Midnight? Are you saying that perhaps we shouldn't flood our overlords with tribute so they can change the weather and make the crops grow?
I mean, we can make the crops grow.
Yeah, they're not confronting the real problem, which is we kept our children inside over a harsh cold.
Or the fact that they're using cell phones as nannies. You know, whenever your kid, bothers you in any way, you just pop out the cell phone and put some Pocoyo or whatever the fuck it is they watch now, and you just like turn it into little zombies, addicted to the things.
The amount of using devices as a nanny boggles my fucking mind. It's
There,
it's
there
a
was
terrible idea.
There was a psychiatrist who said that little kids, need to get bored because boredom breeds creativity and
Yeah.
imagination. If you never get bored, if you always have entertainment at the reach of your fingertips, you will never grow as an imaginative, creative person. And that's probably one of the reasons why there are like fat little facts around nowadays.
I was never bored as a kid though,
No,
because I always had something to do.
Same
I always
here.
like you had to, in order to bore me, you had to shut me in a room without as much as a pencil and a piece of paper. Because if you shut me in a room and there was a pencil and a piece of paper in there, I was eventually going to start doodling or writing something.
Mhm.
Kids today, they have it. What it is it's all consumption. They're not putting out. They're not doing any output. It's all input. So they're watching their screens. They're watching television and whatever fucking medium they're watching it on. They're not.
They're being good little consumers, so they can.
Yeah.
So when they're older, they can consume product
and get excited for
consume
next product.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty terrifying. When I actually taught one of my nephews to be creative not that long ago. Like he wanted to make his own magic cards. Actually, I came up with the idea. I was like, "Do you want to make your own magic cards?" And he was like, "Well, you can do that." I was like, "You can do whatever the fuck you want. You want to like draw some magic cards and come up with some things that they do? Let's make them up." And so I was like, "All right, so what's the first one? What's the first one that you want to make? What's your idea?" And he just looked at me blankly. I'm like, "All right, so what color do you like? What color do you want to do? I want to do a blue one." Okay. And what would the powers of it be? You know, and like, it was so weird to watch this kid he was trying to find the right answer when the right answer was whatever he wanted it to be. And it took me a little while, but eventually he came up with this character for like a legendary, I don't know how magic goes, but like he came up with this character and powers, but watching him be able to allow himself to just create something was like, wow, dude, you're waiting for someone else to have this thought for you. That's terrifying to me.
I'm just gonna quote Fear Factory and say, "We are the new breed. We are the future. We are immune to life itself. Cold rules are reality." I think that's what the song is about. Check it out. New Breed by Fear Factory is pretty fucking awesome.
Coca says, I used to play in the hood till midnight sometimes. Dude, I lived in the hood for at least 15 years of my life. And I hear kids running around until 3 a.m. in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm against that.
Same where I live.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm against kids being unsupervised in the hood at 3 a.m. But I'm for them having something keeping them doing stuff.
Yeah, Coca has a good point. He says that when you get bored on one thing, you seek what to do. That's why we did so much shit when we were kids. But the option now, now take kids to digital. Yeah, because when we were kids, the whole thing that you see in American movies, like hopping on the bicycle and getting into trouble, that's what you did. You just
every single day.
Yeah. You build shit. You tear down shit. You fight other kids. You go buy comics. You make up your own adventures. You go buy action figures, whatever. You were always like getting in trouble, doing stuff, learning stuff, exploring.
Rip off some quarters from your parents' quarter jar and then sneak off to the comic book store.
You go to the arcade or arcade, I don't know how you call it. Like, it was the machine. For us, it was the machine room. Sala de máquinas. You get to the fucking machines and play some Mortal Kombat,
Just might know this reference. Play Tazos with the friends.
Yeah, Tazos.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Tazos are little like plastic discs you get in like the potato chip bags.
Uh-huh.
And usually they have like a theme, like I used to collect the Dragon Ball Z ones.
Is it like Pogs?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mexican Pogs.
Yeah, it's like they're like tokens that you have to like pile on top of each other. I'm not sure what the rules is, but you get them for free on like cookie bags, chips bags, or whatever.
The basic rule is that you get a bunch of Tazos, and make a small tower, and then you, with a North tassel, throw it at the tower and try to flip around as much stuff as you try,
What?
as you can, and the ones that flip it, you win them.
Got it. You know, a lot of this is coming from the whole helicopter parenting thing.
Yeah.
Is awful, and the year of lockdown made it metastasized, because now parents are all terrified to let their kids go out and do stuff.
I remember there used to be like a creepy guy, but then he got caught. But yet my mom still let me and my sister like ride our bikes a couple blocks away to the park.
Yeah, because what else are you gonna do? Like, just because of one guy, you're gonna keep your kids from like being kids and learning and growing up and doing what kids are supposed to do, you know?
Life is dangerous, and your kids have to get used to that eventually. Like, you have to let them go out and do stupid stuff.
Well, in my case, I wasn't capable to do it because my neighborhood was not exactly populated when I moved. So pretty much my dad and my sister was the one who played with me.
What do you mean your neighborhood wasn't populated?
Yeah, my dad built a house because, as you remember, he's an architect. But the ground that he found to build the house was practically empty when he did it. There were practically no houses.
That must have been kind of great, though.
Not so much, because the whole ground around it was a complete mess.
Oh.
It was not urbanized yet.
Got it.
Yeah, it wasn't until I was 16 that it looked decent.
Kids these days are going to grow up very dissociated from reality. And
they're not gonna grow up. They're just gonna get bigger, but their minds are gonna stay as small as they are now.
Infantilism, man, it's really bad. Like, this idea that people have that they're going to be the baby forever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you see it now. You're starting to see it now, but in the coming generations, it's gonna be worse and worse.
I mean, that's why I always say, like, at least my generation, like, you know, our generation knew what it was like to grow up without social media and without like constant dopamine hits, and what it was like to go outside and experience the world firsthand and not through a screen. But this generation, holy shit, man, it's like, you know, I guess that's what Village of the Damned actually was about. Like, the fear.
It's reminding me a lot of Neil Stephenson's The Diamond Age.
Please explain. Please elaborate.
Have you ever read that book? The guy who did Snow Crash?
Yeah, I know who that is, but I never. No, I'm not really big on science fiction writer. I'm more of a horror writer, a horror reader.
I'm not going to get into the full plot of The Diamond Age, but it's, you know, near future, not quite dystopias. There's cyberpunk to it, but in this setting, like in the lower classes, nobody can really read. So, because everything they navigate through touchpad icons. And I read this book in like 2001, I think. So, think about seeing that play out over time for me. This is before everyone had smartphones. And I have read this book where the lower classes can't read because they navigate through everything through touchpad icons. And then the smartphone comes out. And people are navigating through everything through touchpad icons. And then the Internet of Things happens. And people are navigating through everything through touchpad icons. And I'm noticing people are reading less and less.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, they are understanding less and less. They have lost the ability to understand what the words mean. Like, they can read the sentence. Sorry,
reading teaches you to think. You need to read to learn to think. If you don't read, you won't learn to think. You're going to be stuck in a very rudimentary ability, because reading is what puts the monologue in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that there are certain individuals out there who don't have an inner monologue, and it's been proven by science.
horrifying. I can't even imagine what that's like. I have like 9 inner monologues.
I know. My fucking brain will
Same.
lose shot.
Well,
So-
I just started rereading El Cazador. It's a comic out of Argentina.
It's basically Argentinian Lobo.
Yeah.
Maniac Man 2030 says, I hate the fact that the normies found the internet. I remember when it was something not everyone had. Man, those were the days.
Yeah.
Those were the days. I miss those days as well.
I mean, to be honest, when I was on the internet, I started out as a normie, but as I kept going, I kind of turned into a wise person. Like someone can just show me something and I'd be like, yeah, seen it.
This is one of Jez's links from Rams Paul. What are we talking about here, Jez?
So a while back, a black family went to some amusement park with the Sesame Street characters, and Rosita, she's Mexican in the show. I guess she didn't give the 2 kids a high five, and of course they automatically jumped to racism.
I was 90% certain that the character actor in the Rosita costume was going to be some form of Latin / Caribbean, because in Times Square they're all Latin. They're all
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you go to hang out with Batman. It's some Dominican guy. Yeah. Wait a minute, you're not Batman.
I mean,
yes, I am. I am Batman.
Batman.
I'm Batman.
So yeah, I called this the moment it happened. I was like, it's not what it looks like. It's not what they're trying to tell you it was, and I hope that what happens is they bring the character actor in and say, this is, I don't know, Alonso Gutierrez. I don't know. Give me a name. You want to keep do you want to keep the suit going? And the judge says dismissed. $25 million.
And you know why? And you know why they like doing that kind of stuff.
I mean, it's opportunity. They saw opportunity. This is the parents of these kids were taught to seek this kind of opportunity as their means of getting wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
That's been going on since the 70s.
Yeah. And guess what that teaches their kids?
The other day, my mom was wondering, because you guys know that my mother is the person that I hang out with the most. It's kind of sad, but it's true. And my mom was wondering, what the hell is going on? Why is everybody so at every other person's throat? Like, why are black people going against white people and gay people against straight people, men against women? I was like, well, because 10, 20 years ago, everybody got along just fine. Everybody had black or gay or whatever friends. Mm-hmm. And what's going on is that there's an entire industry nowadays of people who are profiteering, because that's the right word, from pitting one group of people against each other. That's what's going on. There's an entire industry of that.
And Canales, who is the person that was the genesis of that industry?
Oh yes, I can think of this certain guy who built a laboratory in Bethlehem, Maine.
Yep.
I know you like to say the name. Let's go ahead.
Kurt Levin.
Kurt,
want to know where it comes from? It's Kurt Levin. It all comes from Kurt Levin and the National Training Laboratory. They built the model. That was where the model was built, and they monetized it. And now people that want to get rich quick, they're just looking for that opportunity. And it's creating a society of grave distrust. It's not good for society. All right, we have time for One more. I'm going to do the Andy No thing.
All right.
All right.
Play it.
So this is another one of Jez's tweets. An Antifa member left me an expletive-laden voice message accusing me of Islamophobia. Let's see what's going on. Here we go.
Hey, Andy, I know that you want to just be like a sash. He's
Listen to the quavering in that voice. That man is always crying.
shit with like patriot prayer, hanging out with them while they plan assaults on people and stuff.
Okay, dude, what assaults has Patriot Prayer planned on anyone?
Well, their opinions, don't you know? Opinions are violence now.
Opinions are violence. Words are violence.
Violence is not opinions are violence.
Right wing propaganda. But I want you to remember your Islamophobia. I do not want anyone to ever forget that. Fuck you for that.
What does Andy know? Like, legit, what does Andy know said or done that was Islamophobic? That's even critical of Islam.
Oh, wait, are you perhaps implying that these people don't operate in reality as we do?
No, they just, I mean, this guy doesn't even care about Islamophobia. He doesn't care about Islam.
He never ever mentioned Islam. Like, he's basically mostly like covering Antifa's antics in Portland. That's what he does.
Yeah.
I think, did Andy know?
I was gonna say this guy sounds like he's definitely a cuck.
Did Andy know have something to say about the dude that just like killed 2 people or something? There was that dude that just killed 2 people or 3 people. Is that what he's talking about? I think he may have had an opinion. Oh, okay. All right. There was some dude that just killed some people for like apostasy. And then, there's the whole thing about Salman Rushdie getting stabbed in the neck for apostasy.
Oh, maybe he reported on that guy who killed his 2 daughters for being too American, maybe.
That's possible.
Even though they were half American.
But that's too American for somebody who hates America.
Yeah.
Fuck you for everything else that you've done. But fuck you for your fucking roots in Islamophobia. You piece of shit.
This is like a 2 minutes of hate. This is this guy's 2 minutes of hate. He's just repeating like key phrases that
he's just making sounds that make him feel momentarily good. That's all.
Yes.
I have a feeling that he fired off this message after he saw his girlfriend take Tyrone into the bedroom for like the 5th time that day.
You can eat shit. You miserable piece of fuck. I know you're unhappy.
Oh, there it
is.
There's
a little piece of me that is okay
confession
with that,
projection.
But I really wish you could just fuck
projecting
off
like an IMAX
and leave everyone alone. Because we don't need people spreading hate.
Well, you're never going to stop that. You're never going to. The whole idea that you can end hate is ridiculous, and anyone who's dedicated to it is.
Imagine it's almost like thinking you can change weather with enough money, like that you can stop people from having feelings that you don't want them to have. It's like progressive arrogance manifest.
We all know that this guy's going to turn out to be a cartographer, right?
Yeah.
Like this guy's going to turn out to be a cartographer. I guarantee it.
Are spreading.
Surveyor,
you are putting people in danger every single day. Stop doing what you're doing. The minimum amount of money you're doing. You could get a job at a fucking restaurant. Be a prep cook and make the money you're fucking making without
he's probably making pretty good money.
You piece of fucking shit. Fuck off.
And he knows probably in 6 figures. He's probably doing fine. You can't make that as a prep cook.
This was what I heard was like. I'm sorry, I'll be fast. I'll be quick this time. It's like that sound that people who meditate do, that makes like a tingling in your brain and is vaguely pleasant. That's what he's doing. He's just like he's only making noises that make him feel like good momentarily. That's all he's doing.
Do you know what?
9694 Abel says, I want to bring this Antifa loser back to reality. There isn't any. I mean, like, put him to work in construction for a year. That's the most help that he has.
Do you know what that recording reminded me of? Have you ever seen the meme where the guy is trying to record the "I will find you" speech from Taken, but then it comes up like, "I will find you, I will kill you, I have a certain set of skills." It's like that.
I've never seen it, but I think that's funny. Maniac Man 2030 says they're also limp-wristed figs that require a bunch of their buddies to have an edge over anyone. And it's funny because their tactics are very similar to ghetto black gangbangers, except for those gangbangers are actually like they are tough.
But they're basically using like primitive tribal tactics. You know, they're like they're in touch with their monkey brains. Like they're not thinking like rational human beings. Neither of them.
Gangbangers, the gangbanger type goes into a fight expecting to fight, regardless of their tactic. These guys don't expect to get smashed. And Zach Longby says, "You are the ones who are the ball lickers." You are the ones who are the ball lickers. Yeah. All right. So, Canales, what are you working on right now?
I'm working on illustrating a script for a comic called Gentleman's Guild, which is a noir martial arts comic book written by the aforementioned Derek Fury, the guy who wrote and directed the independent movie Lion Killer. So I'm pretty stoked.
Very nice. How about you, Jez? What are you working on?
Well, aside from still trying to get over this cold that I've had since last weekend, I'm working toward trying to get myself a new place.
And you're traversing countries, aren't you?
Well, for the moment, I'm trying to look for a place still in Peru, but if that's not likely, I'm probably going to start plans into motion to get me into my preferred country of Argentina, where I can hang out with all the fellow other immigrants, you know, these immigrants that came between 1939 and 1945.
Well, you are of German descent, so you will feel right at home there.
Indeed.
And Mega, what are you working on?
Well, I finished all my batch of commissions and I'm taking a small break. So I'm kind of free right now.
Are you closed for commissions right now, or are you open for commissions right now?
No, I'm closed right now.
I know you told me that you...
commissions right now.
Yeah. And Mega, I know you told me that if you had time, you're going to do the I'm Not Canales cover, parody cover.
That's funny.
Yeah, I have been doing a lot of shit in my house the last couple of weeks. So I hope I can do it the next one.
Okay. I'm interested in seeing that.
Make sure to check out...
Sorry, no, go ahead. I'm just going to massage my own ego.
Go ahead, massage your own ego.
I was gonna say that I have become a kind of like Kaiser Sose for these people. Like they think I'm everyone. Like I'm everybody's Canales in disguise, conspiring to bring us down.
We're talking about people that have nothing to do.
In my case, I have several. It's called sock puppet accounts. They say.
Kaiser Sose.
Remember to check out Shadowpunk on Indiegogo if you haven't already. I think it's one of the most solid Comicsgate related properties that I've seen in this whole time. I haven't read it yet because I haven't got it yet, but I think that it's the type of thing that could have like a you ever see Steam Boy? You guys see Steam Boy?
Yeah.
There could be a Shadowpunk style a Steam Boy style Shadowpunk movie. or even a series, a video game, it's a solid property. Watch Quantum Terror on Tubi or FilmZ. And if you like cyberpunk horror, Lovecraftian cyberpunk horror, find Midnight Chrome on YouTube. There's a new episode coming. Eventually, when I finish it, I've got a couple hundred tracks going on right now.
Well,
that
you know,
reminds me.
as a
I need to find my coffee link, my Buy Me a Coffee link.
Oh, I have that in it. I'll put that in the description.
Oh, I should also say that I have a video on my Odyssey.
What's your Odyssey? Do you remember what it is?
The Jazz Zone.
The Jazz Zone?
Yeah, the Jazz Zone.
All right. Everybody go watch Jez's video on Odyssey. We're going to watch it offline so that we don't take the views away from you. And any last words, guys?
I'm not cannabis.
Bitches and hoes, they like new clothes. Once you got them, you never wish you bought them.
I am also not Canalis. Everyone have a nice night.